Hello Internet, welcome to Games Done Wrongish. Today we will be taking a look at the PlayStation Plus offerings for the month of October 2017. The titles are Skyforce Anniversary, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, Hue, and the Amnesia Collection. Skyforce Anniversary is a classic arcade shoot-'em-up type game that reminds me a lot of 1943 and Swiv, for those old enough to remember those games. It starts off nice and slow to get you used to the controls, which are pretty simple, before quickly turning into the bullet hell I expected it to be. By the third level you will be surrounded by tanks, helicopters, planes, turrets and more. Whilst playing each level, the enemies all drop stars and power-ups. The power-ups are displayed as revolving wings. These increase the damage and speed of your main cannon. You usually get one of these if you clear out a full wave of a current enemy type on screen. For instance, the different coloured planes will generally appear in waves of 4 to 5 planes. Shoot all of them down and you will get a power-up. The stars seem to drop from everything you shoot at, enemies and crates included. Pick up as many of these as you can, as they are your main currency for upgrading your plane. Once you have completed a mission, you can take the stars you earn to your hangar and spend the stars on upgrades such as increasing the amount of damage you can take or damage and fire rate of your main cannon. You can also purchase additional wingside weapons, lasers and bombs to help you as you progress. Along with taking down the enemies on screen, you also have other quests to complete such as not being hit and rescuing the humans left stranded. You get one medal for each of these quests you complete. In order to unlock the third mission, you need to have completed the first and second mission and gained a minimum of 4 medals from those missions. So you will need to try and complete as many of these as you can in each level if you are going to progress. The upgrades purchased with stars can help a lot with these, and each level can be replayed as much as you like, with the stars being available from each run. So you can, in essence, grind the first mission if you like to gain all the upgrades, but that would take a long time it seems. For the trophy hunters out there are 14 to collect, 11 bronze, 2 silver and 1 gold, for a total of 315 points. Overall this is not a bad game. I may not return to it too often, if at all, on the PlayStation 4, but I could see myself playing it on a Vita for an hour or so if I was having a night stay over in a hotel room on my own or something like that. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is awesome. This game, for those that have not yet played it, is worth the PlayStation Plus subscription cost alone for the next 6 months in my opinion. There was a lot of controversy between Hideo Kojima and Konami nearing the end of this game's development. I won't go into it here as there would be too much to cover, but if you are interested then a quick Google search should fill you in. However, the end result is an amazing accomplishment, which makes me a little sad to know that there will not be any more Kojima directed Metal Gear games. For those unfamiliar with the Metal Gear franchise, they are stealth-based, third-person action games that have all the action of a James Bond movie with some wacky and sometimes outright crazy Japanese twists provided by the eccentric writer and developer Hideo Kojima. This edition is no exception. The game follows on from the previous games in the series, however it is not really that important to have played those games as it does have its own story and catch-up mechanics to help fill you in. If you are interested in the lore though, a good place to start is the mini prequel to this labelled Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. You can get an even more in-depth background by playing the fantastic Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which was originally released on the PSP but can now be found in the Metal Gear Solid HD Collection on multiple platforms such as the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PlayStation Vita. At the start of the game you find yourself waking up from a coma in hospital. The opening scene is very lengthy, so I would recommend that you free up an hour or two in your schedule before starting to play so that you can play through this scene and get yourself settled into the main game right away. I cannot show you this scene as every time I try to, Konami put a copyright claim on the video due to the huge amount of cutscenes and dialogue in that section of the game. It's worth playing through yourself anyway. Needless to say, things go pear-shaped and soon enough you are making your escape from the hospital. Once you have escaped, you are informed by an old friend that you are in Afghanistan and that another old friend is being held hostage close by. You then get into the main meat of the game. It is now your job to infiltrate the stronghold your friend is being held in and rescue him. Once you have rescued your friend, you can rendezvous with a helicopter and get both you and him out of the hot zone. You are both then flown to your new base of operations, aptly named Mother Base. Mother Base offers a lot of new features to your gameplay. It starts out as a small ex-oil rig type structure. Over time you can expand this by adding additional platforms to help you grow your operation and army. Initially when you arrive you are given a new toy to play with, the Fulton Pack. This device allows you to quickly airlift and extract incapacitated enemies and wildlife from the war zone. The extracted enemies can be convinced to join your army, and if they agree, they will offer some sort of support to your operation, be it research and development options, material acquisition, or inventory that can be sent out on side ops. To fund the operation you work as part of a private mercenary group known as Diamond Dogs. In return for completing missions and side ops for the highest bidder, you gather currency and materials. These allow you to expand Mother Base and increase your arsenal, which allows you to grow your army to help you take down your main foe, Cypher. Cypher is the reason you are in this mess in the first place. Through the catch-up mechanics such as audio logs on cassette tapes and various cutscenes in the game, you will be quickly brought up to speed on who Cypher is and why they need to be stopped. Out in the field, your main missions will be things like capture or eliminate a high-profile target, take out communications in an enemy stronghold, or recover blueprints and intel for one of the paying nations. Your side ops can also offer blueprints which will allow you to research and develop more powerful items and weapons for your arsenal. You can also extract special enemies to help your cause, such as a Russian translator. He will then allow you to interrogate Russian enemies in the field to gather information on your main objectives. There are also major boss battle missions throughout the game. These are few and far between, but they are interesting and help move the story along. I am not going to spoil any of these here, but they are definitely worth playing. Once a mission is complete and you have safely extracted via helicopter, you will be given a ranking on the mission. You generally rank higher if you can complete the mission undetected and without killing anyone. Alternatively, if the rank is not that important to you, you can simply go in all guns blazing and defeat every enemy in the area to get the job done. Prior to starting a mission, you are able to choose your equipment and body in the helicopter before disembarking. You can arm up fully offensive, use all incapacitating weapons, or take a mixture of the two to give you options depending on how the mission plays out. There are a number of buddies that can come along and offer some kind of assistance during your missions. You start off with your trusty horse that can help you get around the map a bit faster. Later on though, you may want to swap him out for some other kind of support. I will not go into the other buddies, as a really good part of the game for me was recruiting these and seeing how they play out. It is a good idea to return to Mother Base once in a while to take a look at the goings on. Also, while you are there, you may want to freshen up. Your clothes and body can become rather gross looking over time, splattered in blood and whatever else you may have come in contact with. This can be cleaned off however in the handy little shower back at base. Yes, you shower with your clothes on. I guess there is no laundromat at the Mother Base. This makes you physically and mentally refreshed at the same time. I'm not sure what that does for you gameplay wise, but at least you are now clean inside and out. For the trophy hunters out there are 43 to collect. 27 bronze, 13 silver, 2 gold and 1 platinum, for a total of 1,155 points. Overall, as I stated at the start of this video, the game is amazing. If there is one thing I could take away from it, it is that I did not feel the boss battles were as inventive or fun as some in the earlier editions of the franchise. However, as stated earlier, the boss fights are not that often and are used more as a continuation of the story than anything else. Everything else in the game makes up for that and more though. Being able to set out in an open world making your own choices on how to approach a mission, whether it's during the day or at night, which buddy is with you, what weapons you use and everything else combined make this one of the best, if not the best, I have played this generation. If you are at all on the fence about this game, don't be. If you have not played it before and have a PlayStation Plus subscription, then I advise you to add it to your library. Even if you do not have the time to play it this month, once it is in your library you can play it whenever you get a chance to. I am sure you will not regret it. Hue is a small colourful puzzle game. It reminds me a little of Limbo at first, as you play as a small boy in a black and white surrounding. Pretty soon you pick up the first colour for your colour palette, which is blue. This allows you to add the colour blue to the game. Not only does it add the colour, it also hides anything that is also blue out of sight. This is the way you solve the puzzles in the game. Most puzzles are arranged around certain coloured blocks and obstacles in close proximity. The blocks can be moved around to help you climb or descend around certain obstacles. You will need to switch around the colours to get certain blocks and platforms to align up in a way that allows you to reach your destination. There are also pitfalls and rockfalls located throughout the areas that are there to add some danger and often speed up or slow down your progress. As you gain more colours, the puzzles become more complex. There are times when you need to jump or fall and switch colour in mid-air to ensure you land on another coloured block before landing in a pitfall. Luckily, when opening the colour palette in mid-air, time slows down to give you a little more time to plan your colour change. For the trophy hunters out there, Hugh has 12 to collect, 9 bronze, 2 silver and 1 gold for a total of 285 points. Overall, I think this is a cute fun game, one I think I will return to at some point to finish off. The puzzles are interesting and fun, the gameplay is slick and responsive, and the tone and setting are very relaxing. It would certainly be a good game to play on a PS Vita when you have some downtime in an airport or so. The pacing is very good and addictive. Before you realise you cleared the last puzzle, you are already halfway through the next one. It's definitely worth the download to try. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is the first of 3 games in the Amnesia Collection. This is a first-person horror-based puzzle-solving game. At the start of the game you are made aware that you will be playing the game as Daniel. Daniel has woken up in an ancient castle with amnesia and does not know where he is or where he came from. The only thing he can remember is his name. You soon find a note addressed to you from your former self, when your memory was functioning it seems. This advises you to find the inner sanctum of the castle. You are spun around and shown which direction this is going to be in. So, after searching some of the other options first for items you may need, you give up and head in that direction. You then find that there is a wall of fleshy matter blocking your way. So we try another way. Eventually you find the laboratory, and in there you find a note that informs you that the castle's alchemist inadvertently conjured a potion that burns through skin. However, the chemicals required to make this potion are stored in the wine cellar as they were decaying in the lab. So off to the wine cellar, right? Wrong. The wine cellar is locked and you need a key to open the door. After a bit of searching and puzzle solving you find the key. So you head back to the wine cellar to get the chemicals. A few more puzzles later you get out of the cellar with the chemicals and head back to the lab to make the potion. Making the potion is another puzzle in itself in which you need to mix the chemicals in the right order and so on. The game continues to send you through multiple areas and puzzles like this to reach your goal at the time. All the time, however, you need to be on your guard as monsters can appear and attack you. Daniel is very vulnerable and cannot attack or defend himself very well. As such, your main aim is to either hide and wait until they leave or sneak past them. If you get spotted, you will need to run away to safety. The other issue with lying in wait in the dark until they move on is the fact that the longer you stay in the dark, the more you descend into madness. In order to restore your sanity, you need to find natural light through windows or broken walls or advance your progress in the game. The collection has 22 trophies to earn in total. These comprise of 6 bronze, 7 silver, 8 gold and 1 platinum for a total of 1,200 points. So far I have only played the first game from the collection, but I have a good idea of what the game is about. The sound design is really good for a horror game, especially when wearing headphones. There are sounds like whispers coming out of the walls, footsteps in rooms you know were empty a moment ago, and pianos being played in empty rooms. There is also a few jump scares in which a piano you heard playing from another room suddenly closes on you the next time you approach it, and monsters that suddenly appear where there was none before as you backtrack. As we are in the month of October and Halloween is at the end of the month, I will return to this collection over the next 2 weeks. I will be live streaming Monday to Thursday for 2 to 3 hours a day. I hope to get all 3 games completed before the end of the month. I will then finish the month with a special Halloween video as my end of month overview and review that will be based on this collection in its entirety. The video should be online on Friday, October 27th, 2017. If you want to learn more about this collection or see if we share opinions or not on the collection, then please join me again then. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then give it a thumbs down. But please try to leave some constructive feedback in the comments below this video so that I can try to make more enjoyable content for you in the future. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe by clicking on the icon in the middle of this screen. To learn more about the channel, you can click the What is Games Done Wrongish video on the left, or you can visit my website at www.gamesdonewrongish.com. Thank you, and until the next time, goodbye.